as all of that was happening, and then President Biden was showing up at the bridge in Baltimore, how far things have come. Because in 2007, there was the bridge collapse in Minnesota. That Congress gave the funding that they needed. There was not a single person who voted against it. Fast forward, Chris, in 2015, Chris Christie got grief for hugging, embracing Barack Obama. And now, something like that. And now we're learning from the House Freedom Caucus, they are saying, if you want federal funding for the bridge, here is what we need in return. They say that the fund should be fully offset, that regulation should be rolled back, and they want a pause. They want an end, rather, to the pause on LNG export approvals. How have we gotten, Chris, to everything's okay, we're going to get you the money after Minneapolis, to that right now? And is this what's going to happen every time there's a catastrophe, or earthquake, bridge collapse, hurricane, whatever?
Well, there wasn't a House Freedom Caucus when the Twin Cities Bridge went down.
Right.
And the House Freedom Caucus has evolved over time dramatically. And what you have in this case is basically the Speaker of the House is under threat, right? He is the right wing in his party. He is under threat constantly from them. But even within the Freedom Caucus itself, there's some Jacobinism going on inside the Freedom Caucus, where people say, well, we don't know if Bob Good, chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, is really Freedom Caucus-y enough. So the performative escalation that you see in stuff like this is wild.
So, Mick, you were an original member of the Freedom Caucus, right? Started it, helped start it? Yeah. So at some point, Mick, and I could say this as someone who lived through Hurricane Andrew and was raised in Florida, there will be a hurricane in the southeast. It will be devastating. It will be deadly. And federal money will be needed at somewhere in the southeast, maybe in Florida, where there's House Freedom Caucus members. At that point, what are they going to say? Give us the money, federal government. Are they not? I don't understand how we got to here to this point right now with that group and that demand list.
Well, you got here because you got here writ large, right? The whole town is like that on everything, not just disaster relief, if that's what you want to call this. If I wanted to look for a silver lining here, it would be on that bullet point on regulatory relief. Look, if the Freedom Caucus has just thrown a bunch of stuff up against the wall and said, you know, we want this or else we're not going to vote for it, then that's the end of the discussion. If this is a negotiation, there's actually one thing there that might get some traction, which is this regulatory relief. Keep in mind.
But I guess my question is, should it be negotiation?
No, yes, and here's why. Because this is something they have a chance to educate people about. When the bridge collapsed in Minneapolis, the rebuild suspended most of the permitting process. Okay, I had this happen in my district. We had a tanker truck hit a bridge on a freeway. They rebuilt it in 6 months because they suspended all of the permit requirements. They are going to rebuild this bridge in Baltimore as quickly as they possibly can, which means suspending the permit requirements, changing the regulations. And if the Freedom Caucus can use this as evidence of what needs to be changed larger, then I think it's probably a smart move if they're ultimately going to vote for it. If they just threw their hands up and said, we're going to ask for a bunch of stuff that we know we can't get because we can't vote for it, then it's a waste of time.
What a day for you not to be in New Jersey.
I know the one day I'm more useful to you in New Jersey.
You're always
my
useful to
family
us.
did feel the earthquake, and I'm from California, and so the news coverage of this did surprise me because we sustain 4-point-something earthquakes very frequently there, and people are not as shocked and surprised. But as far as the House members, I mean, I think not just the Freedom Caucus, but House Republicans have lost a lot of credibility, whatever they ask to negotiate for in the future. And what you're pointing to, Blake, is there a hypocrisy where people will remember if they ask for assistance in the future?
This happened with Ron DeSantis. This happened with Ron DeSantis with Superstorm Sandy, right? That he wasn't for that funding, and then all of a sudden something happened in Florida, and hey, we need some help.
Yeah, but the politicalization and the exploitation by the Republicans or the Freedom Caucus on disasters, I think, is ridiculous and just disgusting. Everything that doesn't have to be politicized. That's the first thing. Second thing is, Mick, I don't think if he's still with us, I don't think that reducing the regs or suspending the regulations is a negotiation point. That's going to happen at the state level and the federal level if you want to get the 7th most important port up and working again. So I'm not sure that's a good negotiation point.
No, Scott, my point was this, is that if we suspend them when we're doing these emergency rebuilds, why not suspend them generally? Why is a new bridge any less important than replacing an old bridge? And I think that's a good talking point for the Republicans. Again, if it's a strategy to try and have that debate, then I guess I got to take my hat off to them. If it's just an excuse to vote no and stick their head in the ground, then I think, you know, I can't
They
defend
could
that
just
at all.
vote no.
What did we hear out of the president today?
You know, I also was going to say, the president is saying we want to get this funded as soon as possible, but the White House is also saying if the investigation proves that there's some way to hold the company accountable, then they will also pay up for this cost. So they want this to go as quickly as possible. So they're saying, okay, Congress, approve these funds, get this done, but then also if we find them accountable, hold them accountable.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.